Hi, this is Mark again, and welcome to a little tutorial on using Photoshop to scan in some Playfield graphics. So the basic concept is you've got to get the best option obviously is to have a scanner and to be able to scan in the Playfield, but many people don't have that, including me, and so what I've done is I take a picture of the Playfield with my camera. The problem with cameras are that while they take a good picture, they don't take an accurate one. And so this little tutorial is on how to use Photoshop to kind of resolve that situation. So what I've done is I took a piece of paper. In this case, I used notebook paper, but really you should use kind of a light cardboard, about an 80-pound or something like that paper. I drew 1-inch square grid on it. And there's a reason for that. Exactly 1-inch square grid. Kind of cut a hole in it and then lay that over my patch or my spot that I wanted to scan in on the Playfield and took a picture. So I have no idea, size-wise or accuracy or anything, and so that's what we're going to do here in Photoshop is resolve that. So all I've done is load in the JPEG. And you can see if I zoom in, this is actually a pretty bad spot on my Playfield. So here's my grid of 1-inch squares, and I just basically cut a hole and threw it on there, took a picture, tried to get it reasonably square. So let's see how square it is. I'm going to go into Photoshop here, and we'll draw a square. Let's do a square from one corner to the other corner, and well, you can see it's alright. We'll fill it with red, and then let's go to my selection, contract it by, let's say, 5 pixels, and then get rid of the red. Alright, so now we can we back out of all of that. Okay, we need to do this on another layer. So I just click the new layer button. I'm on layer 1, which I will name as red box. Oops, if I could type red box. B-O-X. Jeez. Oh well. Alright, so now we will fill it with red. We'll come in, selection, modify, contract. Let's make it 10 pixels, make it a little easier to see. Alright, so now there's our red box. If we zoom in, so this is a perfectly square box. We can see it's pretty close up there in the left corner. Not too bad in the lower left corner, but over in the right corner, it's a little out there and is way off in that corner. So how do we resolve this? First thing we want to do is get it square. It also looks like it's a little bit, let me zoom in here, it's a little bit down in the middle and not quite as much down at the top corner. So how do we fix this? Well, the first thing we're going to do is we'll crop the image so that there's not a lot of extra stuff. So I just draw a square out a little bit. Go to image, crop. Okay, so now we don't have any extra stuff to worry about. So now we're going to go back to our background. We're going to select the whole thing, and we're going to free transform it. Free transform. Okay, so free transform allows you to do kind of whatever you want to do with it, but it's only rectangular. That's the disadvantage of that. So let's go into here, and we're going to come on, free transform, piece of junk. Alright, so we're going to what I'm trying to do is make it accurate. So we're gonna get the red to match the black, or actually get the black to match the red exactly. One corner at a time. Okay, So now you can see here I've got the left side pretty much lined up. The right side is not so good, but I'm going to grab it with the control key and just square it up. That looks good. Alright, let's control this guy here. That looks good, that looks good. This one's off. Grab that corner with the control key. And double click. And we're reasonably good. It is now reasonably square. So this allows you to grab things that are out of square because you didn't hold the camera perfectly, and get them done. Now we do have one other little problem. This is actually pretty decent, but you also may run into this situation where you can see here that although on the corners you can't see the black, which means the red overlay is correct. In the middle you can see some black, which means what we have is barrel distortion, which is kind of makes the lines are curved a little bit. So we fix that by going to let's see, distort and spherize. So this allows you to change all sorts of different options. You can see you can kind of distort it as well. Looks like it pinches inward, and oop, what did I do? It pinches inward, so we're going to need to go out a little bit. So I'm going to go with, let's go to a 3% and see what happens. Well, that looks pretty close. What happened everywhere else? Alright, so it looks like things are no longer accurate over here. In fact, it looks kind of bad. So we'll back out of that. Okay. Looks like I need it to just be vertical, up and down. Changing the left and right changing is not right. So we'll go to filter, distort, spherize, set it to vertical only, and go to 3%. Alright, so now over there is still good, and it is pretty close. There's a little bit, you notice it's a little bit below the line here, it's a little bit above the line here. That is possible to fix in Photoshop. I believe what happened was I just used regular notebook paper on this, and I think that's my problem, because the paper itself distorts a little bit when you cut it, and it's only about ½ inch thick. That's why I recommend using the cardboard rather than paper. Okay, so we're getting close. We have a reasonably accurate image now. I'm going to get rid of the red box. I'll just turn that off. We're going to grab it. We're going to trim it right in the exact center of that. Now we will crop it again, and now this image should be exactly 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 inches by 1, 2, 3, 4. It should be 8 inches by 4 inches. Let's go up here and take a look. Image size. And now we're not even close. So we're at 72 pixels per inch, which is terrible resolution. We need to set that to 300. That's typical printer. We need to make the width 8 inches. And the height, we'll turn off the lock. Constrain. 8 inches by 4 inches at 300 dots per inch. And bam. We now have an image that is square. It is scaled exactly right. It is 300 dot per inch, which is standard printer resolution, and it can now be used for anything that you want to use it for. You can go in and draw redraw the graphics, print it out, do whatever it is you want. If in the case like me, I did this and then I decided, gee, I really need more graphic than that. So I took a picture of the whole area without the image on it, and but it allows me to see everything. So you could then copy that, place it over here, go to free transform, and start scaling it down. Whoops. You can set that new layer to, let's say, I'm just doing this real quick because this is not the part of this. You can set the new layer to say 50% visibility, transform it, and then just lay it down until it is exact over the old one. All right. So what am I looking at here? Oh, this is okay. So it's got to be quite a bit bigger here. Quite a bit bigger. So you can see I'm getting there. And then you lay it down. You can distort it if you need to. And then pretty soon what you'll end up with is an exact image that is really, really close, because this image is exactly 8 inches by 4 inches. That piece of paper had lines on it that were exactly 8 inches by 4 inches, and so your graphic will be really, really close. So I hope that helps, and I hope apply the transformation. There we go. I hope that helps, and I'm hoping that people will be able to use this technique as a kind of an alternative to going and renting a big scanner, or trying to, if you just need a small patch or a small area and you don't want to tear your whole playfield apart so you can lay it on the scanner. This is an alternative.